Hi, in this lesson we're going to learn forward crossovers. So what are forward crossovers? Okay, so forward crossovers are just like this. Obviously this is a little bit more of an advanced version, but all it is a left outside edge with an extension, cross the foot over into a right inside edge with an extension. Now first of all, let's learn it the easy way. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is the right arm is forward. We're just going to pick the right leg up and step over, bring it back, right leg up and bring it back the other way, left leg up, step over, back to here, left leg over, back to here. Okay, so let's try that moving. So we're just pushing around the circle like this, and we're just going to lift and cross over back to position. Push, lift, cross, back to position. Push, lift, cross, back to position. Now we'll go the other way. So left arm is forward, we're pushing around, and now we're just going to lift the foot and cross it over. Lift, cross it over. Making sure we're bending our knees, because if we do this standing up straight, it's going to be really difficult. Okay, so that is the first part. On all these parts that I'm showing you, you can pause the video and you can practice and practice and practice until you get it down, and then you can move on to the next step. Okay, so the next part I would like you to practice is just to push and extend, push, extend. So do a couple of those and then do push, extend, lift, step over, back, push, extend, lift, step over, and again, push, extend, lift, step over. Okay, now we'll go the other way, exactly the same. So we're going to push, so we push and extend, lift, over, push, lift, step over, and again, push, lift, step over, just like that. Okay, now the next part we're going to learn is now we're going to, so we go to push here, and we're going to try to point the underfoot down a little bit. Okay, so we push over and try to point a little bit there. Okay, so push, step over, hold that for a second, push, step over, hold that for a second, and we're just kind of, this is bending and we're trying to point a little bit here, just a little bit. Okay, let's go the other way. Now extend, step over, stand on that one leg there. Okay, now push, step over, stand on the other leg there, push, extend, step over, stand on the other leg. Okay, now let's move on to trying the crossover without such an obvious step over. Okay, so that would look like this. So now push and try to just put it almost here, just in front. Okay, so it kind of comes just in front here, almost like sneaks in front. Okay, so it looks like this. So push through, push through. This is combining all the parts. Push through, hold, push through, hold, push through, hold. And just watch that back foot can catch. If you have the bigger toe stops, it can catch. So if you do bend down a little bit too much, you will catch it. So what you kind of have to do, you have to kind of not really point your toe straight away because it will catch. You kind of have to keep your foot flexed like this, and as you lift it up, then you can point it, which is a bit of a pain, but it's, you know, unless you can put your stopper up, but then it's not in the right place to spin. So it's one of those tricky things with some of the frames. Okay, so now let's go the other way. So we are going to push, bring it through and point, push, bring it through, point, push, bring it through, point. Okay, so let's break the let's break the crossover down a little bit more now, okay? So now we're just going to do that first push again. First push, first push, first push, and now we're going to cross. First push, cross. First push, cross. First push, cross. Okay. Now let's talk about the second push. Now I'm sure some of you thinking the second push. So the outside foot, this is one push, okay? And the second push is on the left leg. As this one comes down, this one does a second push. So what we can do, there's an exercise for this. So we can just do push, 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 push. You're not going to go fast because we're not lifting the foot, but you're just using that second, the inside foot to push and give that little bit of speed. It's only 10-20% of the speed, but there is a little bit of speed there. Okay, so if at full speed it would look like this: push, 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 push. Okay, and obviously you can be doing that both ways, but that is what we're kind of aiming for. But at the beginning we're just learning, because what you will find is that as you want to lift that foot up, you're going on the inside edge. So number one, when you learn the crossovers, we have to be on the outside edge and we have to be able to step over. If you've been doing the levels correctly, then you would have learnt to be over that outside edge. So then when you do lift, you can step over, or you can kind of sneak through. I always imagine if you have two cars driving down the road and one wants to sneak through the other one, that's kind of what the foot does. Keep the feet nice and low. They're not really coming up in the air. They're pointing here and they're sliding through here. Okay? And that has been forward crossovers, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson, which will be the very last exercise in level 5. Bye bye.